Hey everyone, I welcome you all to this session. And today in this session, we are further going to discuss about the concept of clustered indexes. So I will first of all create a database by the name test index, and then we are further going to create a table and discuss about indexes in this particular database only. So I will first of all execute this create statement, that is create database name, and we'll simply execute it. Once we have created this database, we will then select this database. So I can simply execute this statement, that is use test index. After that, we are going to create a new table by the name students in this particular database that will reside in this database. So what I'll do, I'll first of all execute this statement, that is drop table if exists students. The table will be dropped. We have already discussed in previous sessions about creating the table and inserting records. So in this create statement, we are simply creating a students table, which will be having the following columns, that is ID column, name column, age column, and gender column. These are the four columns that this table will be having. We'll simply execute this statement as well. And now in order to insert various records into this students table, I will simply execute this insert statement as well. And I'll be providing this code in the resource section. You can download it from there as well. I'll simply execute the code, and you can now see that the following records were inserted into the table. And now let's run a simple select statement on students table to see the output, that what is now contained in it. If you will now check the order in which the data exists there, so basically it is in the order in which we inserted the records as of now, but the data is not sorted in the ascending or descending order by a given column or like more than one columns. So right, but as of now we just simply see the data that was inserted, and it is not sorted in any given order by any column as of now. But what will happen if we will create a clustered index on this table, and let's say by using some of the column, by let's say using ID column. So I will simply execute this statement written in line number 19, that is create clustered index ix1 underscore 1 on students using ID column. So here you can see that we are using the ID column from students table. So we have specified the column's name, that is ID. Then here we have specified the name of the table. Students is the name of the table. And then ix underscore 1 is basically the name of the clustered index. So we are going to create a clustered index by using this create statement. I will simply select this statement and will then simply click on execute. If I will now execute the simple select statement on this students table, you will see that the data or the output is now sorted in the ascending order by the ID column. Why? Because a clustered index will always determine the physical order of the data in a table. That's why. So here you can see that the data is now sorted in the ascending order by the ID column. Also, since clustered index determines the physical order of the data in a table, you cannot have more than one clustered indexes on a given table. So if let's say here you can see that the data is if when we executed this simple select statement, we can see that the data is sorted in ascending order by ID column. Let's say I want that the clustered index should be created in such a way so that when we'll run the select statement, the data should be sorted in the descending order, let's say, of the ID column. So if I will try to execute this statement written in line number 21, if I'll execute this, so you can see that we are going to get an error. Why? Because we can create only and only one clustered index on a given table, right? You can create only one clustered index. Why? Because clustered index simply determines the physical order of the data in a table, right? So you can specify a given criteria for that particular sorting. So in order to create another clustered index, you will have to drop the first one, right? Because at a time only one clustered index can exist on a given table. So I will now drop, first of all, drop this index that we created, the clustered index named ix1 that we created. I'm dropping that index on students table. So we will have to write in this way: drop index ix underscore 1. Ix underscore 1 is the name of the first clustered index that we created. Students is the name of the table on which this clustered index was created. So first of all, I'm going to drop this. We will simply drop it. Commands completed successfully. If we will now execute this statement written in line number 21, the create statement written in line 21, that is create clustered index named ix underscore 2 on students table using ID column in such a way so that the data has to be sorted in the descending order by ID column, right? So if we will execute this statement now, and commands completed successfully. If I will now execute this simple select statement, that is select star from students, so you will see that the data is now sorted in the descending order by the ID column, right? Because we created the clustered index in that way, stating that ID has to be sorted in the descending order. Similarly, as of now, we have just seen the examples where we have considered the cases where we have used only one column for creating the clustered index. But we can create a clustered index using multiple columns as well, right? So they will be referred to as composite clustered index basically, because we are using more than one column. So although on a given table, only one clustered index can be created, but it can consist of one or more than one column. So let's take an example to understand that. Since we are going to create a new clustered index by the name ix3, so first of all we will have to drop the existing index that exists there on this table, right? Because at a time there can be only one clustered index. So I will simply select this drop index ix underscore 2 on students and will execute it first of all. So commands completed successfully. We will now execute this create statement written in line number 25, wherein we have specified that we have to create a clustered index which will be named ix3. It has to be created on students table using the columns gender and age. And first of all, the data has to be sorted in the descending order of the gender, and then it has to be sorted in the ascending order of the age. So what does it mean and how the data looks? We will further just have a look at this, right? So first of all, I will just select this statement and will execute it. So commands completed successfully. If I will now run the simple select statement, select star from students. So you can see that the data is first sorted in the descending order by the age column. You can see the data for male first. And then within each gender, you can see that the data is further sorted in ascending order by the age column, right? So that's what we specified. Again, you'll see that now we have the data for female, and then you can see that data is sorted in the ascending order by the age for female as well, right? Why? Because we specified that while we created the index. So that's why the physical order of the data was determined in that way using this clustered index, and that's why you can see the output in this way. If you further want to see this clustered index in the object explorer, so you can further click on databases. The database in which we are working, it is named test index. Let's refresh it. So here we have this database by the name test index. I'll further click on this plus icon, tables, will expand tables, and then this is the table that we have created, DBO students. I will further click on indexes, and you can see this is the name of the index, right, that we have just created. We dropped other two indexes, but as of now this index is there, right? So that's why you can see this index in the object explorer as well in this way. So in the next session we will discuss about non-clustered indexes, and I hope this video was helpful, and we will meet in the next session. Till then, thank you, bye bye.